Thank you very much, Ari, for welcoming. And I have to excuse myself for my little, how would you say, thorough voice, but I'll manage. Thank you for welcoming me, and it's a pleasure for me to be here in Helsinki. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to introduce you to some future mega trends which are already on stage in the world, and some hot and successful concepts that transfer in the food service. Well, there are different mega trends like health, trust, time, which ends up in convenience. There are emotions, lifestyle, and social media. Those are the ones which are from, I have those megatrends from the Gottfried Duttweiler Institute in Zurich, where I work together with. And megatrends are for the next couple of years, for 10 years, around 10 years. So let's check into that health first. And everybody of us knows we all are getting ager. We're talking always about the aging population, but we want to stay fit while we are aging, of course. We want to go on and we want to be active, we want to look fresh, we want to look young, we want to act around the world. The best thing would be forever young. That is, of course, our dream. And funny enough, people found out I am responsible. It's my own responsibility to stay and be healthy. So it's up to me what I do to my body. The next one is, how does health, the food service part, how does health is implemented, or how is it transferred into the food service world? So first of all, of course, it's the healthy assortment. Yeah? We are all enjoying healthy and fresh foods. This morning I've had a healthy muesli. I started with a healthy smoothie. So that's the future, and that's all already nowadays like that. So it means a well-balanced health and a very conscious lifestyle. So I have to be aware, what do I eat? And that does not mean that I do not eat any hamburgers anymore, but all according to the time. So, and it's getting a lot more in the future, more quality than quantity. So the time of all those big, big portions are kind of over. And we talked about it, eat healthy, eat fresh. Veggies are coming up. And I talked this morning to a lady, and there are books all over coming out on this vegetarian lifestyle, on vegetarian recipes. So this is it. So that does not mean that we will not find any meat or any fish or any chicken anymore, but I'm definitely sure that especially for young people and for females, they are really into this veggie assortment, veggie dishes, vegetarian. So the next one, the next big one is trust. And because of all the scandals we have had, and Ari mentioned I worked for IKEA, and I still do. So it was last year when there was a big meat scandal with the Schöttbulars. There were horse meat in it. That was a disaster, of course. You know? So based on these big food scandals, people all of a sudden, they want to know, where does my food come from? They want to know it. And as you know, the EU is more and more into that labeling. It's very difficult. It looks like being very difficult, but people want to know, where does my food come from? What are the ingredients of my food? So, and then of course the transparency. How is it cooked? How is it prepared? No? And the value. So that's also the point, that people are willing to pay a little bit more than in earlier time. It catches up again. Value for money. So the implementation in food service, a brand gives you trust. If something happens on a scandal in a little entrepreneurial local restaurant, this is going to be closed, right? Of course. But if something happens in a McDonald's, or I had once in a North Sea restaurant, a big issue, so that really hurts the brand, the whole brand, thousands, hundreds of restaurants. So they have to make sure that they have a really good quality assurance. It has to be from A to Z really defined. How does it look like, the quality assurance? And of course, we are all traveling a lot. If you go to a branded restaurant, there is no surprise. I do know what I get. If I go to an unknown restaurant, which I love, of course, you can be surprised, positively or negatively. And I mentioned the quality assurance. They have to have a big books about quality assurance, and big companies are doing that very, very carefully, even more nowadays. The next one, a big one, we all know about that, sustainability. That is the word. And it is not only in the product, it is in the environment, it is in the economy, and it is in our society. So we are talking about the ethical consume. Where do my clothes come from? All of a sudden, people think about it. How can it be that H&M or Zara or whoever, Z&A in Germany, how can it be that the T-shirts are so cheap? Who is producing them? How do they get there? So, and also the furnitures in a store, where do they get produced? The equipment, everything. So this is all of a sudden a really big wheel. It starts that people want to know about it. Ethical consume, what do I eat, what do I dress, how is my apartment furnished? Buy more towards buy less but better. So the end of the consumer, the end of consuming more and more of the same. How many, talking about females, how many T-shirts do I need? How many clothes do I need? How many ties does a man have? So buy less but better, with a better quality that will stay longer. Business growing in value instead of volume. That's a big one for big chains and big companies, to see that there is an end of the volume, but you have to rise the value. So which means then at the end that the ticket average is getting higher because of the value and not more the ticket amount. Well, return to traditional and seasonal food. And I saw this also in Helsinki, and we discussed it this morning as well. There is a big, big trend in every country in Europe, and not only in Europe. So it's a rediscovery of Heimat. All of a sudden people, would you know what Heimat means? There is no translation in English. It's not home, but it's similar to home. I don't know. It's where you were born. Yeah? It's the rediscovery of your Heimat, of your roots. Where do you come from? Yeah. So this is a very, very big, big thing. And I saw a lot of signs here in Helsinki when I was wandering around about this regional food. And also seasonal. Do I need in wintertime, do I need strawberries in wintertime? They don't taste anyway. So this is really, all the thinking is coming, and it will affect definitely, and it does already, the food service business. Short delivery routes, it has an advantage, you know. If I buy locally from my local supplier, I have short delivery routes. It's good for the it's good for the air. And I have a good contact to my local suppliers. And that starts also in Germany. Even the big chains, you just discussed the future of McDonald's. McDonald's had always worldwide suppliers. They even don't have any German suppliers anymore. They have now regional, they start with regional suppliers. This is amazing. This is also a very big development in their supply chain. So the next one is transparency. And this is how this trust is transferred in the food service, into the restaurant business. So all the last restaurants I saw, the successful ones I saw, they all have an open kitchen. All of a sudden, it's not more hidden what the chef is doing, and then there is a chef on one side and the waiter on the other side. All of a sudden, it is open. I can see how it is prepared. I can see where it comes from. So this gives me a really good feeling. Yeah? So front cooking, that's the word. And also about this carbon footprint. Carbon footprint means how long is my food in the air or on the way, where does it come from? That's a number which is going to be more stressed even in the future. Traceability, I've said that. And then we work with all those unions and all those societies as fair trade, you know, of course, here in Helsinki as well. The next big trend is time. Whether we have too much time or we have too less time, it's a matter of using, how do I use my time? Do I use it efficiently? And 10 years ago I thought that the PCs and the iPads and the iPhone would de-stress me. It would reduce my time I need in the office. But actually it didn't, because we are so busy with using this iPad, iPhone, whatever. So you have sometimes to shut down, because otherwise you are 24 hours online. So earlier time, this is a big new direction. You always talked about life-work balance. Yeah? This is your life, this is your work, and how do you get it under balance to not work too much and to have less free time. But now it's more, the young people, they don't talk about life and work, it's both together. It's a blending in each other. And I really like that. So it is not more from 8 to 5, I'm going to my work, and then I have free time. It is a mixture. It's blended in. I go out, and a lot of new companies are working like that. So it's up to the people. They have their task to do, but then it's up to them, when do they fulfill the task? They can do it at night at home. So it's more or less the why. And this is really interesting. And you have, of course, to trust your people if you do that with your people. Life-work blending. Value for time over value for money. We always were discussing value for money in the restaurant. But now, because we want to spend our time efficiently, we want to have this value for time. And you showed us the pictures of Los Angeles, of the city, the highways, and how long do you stay in your car, how long do you travel to your job. So it's value for time. Being more sensible. So the time is transferred into the food service part as convenience. It has to be convenient for me as a customer, for me as a guest. Everything you are doing in your restaurant has to be easy for me. So this is a typical convenience shelf, how you can find it at Stockmann, I saw it, for example. Wherever you go, you see it. It has to be fast and simple for the consumer. I go there, I see, I want it, I take it, I go out. Very uncomplicated workflow, very uncomplicated. And an easy communication. Yeah? First step communication, I know where it is. Second step, it is describe the product. And the third step, what does it cost? And take it. And we are all talking about the takeaway. There is none of the stores which do not have a takeaway. And I don't know if you call it in Helsinki, we call it mobile eater. And this is a mobile eater. So we are eating and drinking coffee on the street during work, of course, but also in the car, which should not be it. But we are very much the mobile eaters, even the young ones with a pet water and a coffee cup in one hand, and they're jongling around. If you go, it's funny, I haven't seen that so much here in Helsinki. Maybe you are still more relaxing, which I really like. But at the traffic stations, at the railway stations, there are also those fast food outlets coming up, we have heard yesterday. So the next really big trend is about emotion, so emotions in food service means I have to allow it to be seduced, is the word. And that's an art, you know. That's an art that I go along the street and that there is something which really attracts me and I want to have it. And it's in the food part as well. Allowing to be seduced and enjoying with all your senses. Not only with a taste, but with your eye and all your senses. That's more the future. Feeling perfectly, feeling well, feeling at ease and feeling well. That is the goal. So it starts in the food service, it starts with the names and the logos of the brands. And Wagamama, you know the chain from UK, for example, positive eating and positive living. So it's really nicely, nice words. I love Henry, the art of living. It's not the art of eating, it's the art of living. It's an Austrian chain. Balzac Coffee, angels all of a sudden in the food service. Jamie's Italian, Dulce, we love cupcakes, or Mutterland. Mutterland is the same like Heimat, motherland. It's all this back to the roots, back to the coziness of our roots. Tempting and seducing, that's the key words. And that's how your food looks like. That's how your pictures in the beginning, if you are working with pictures, that's how they look like. Do they seduce me? Are they really fresh and attractive? It's the food presentation on the plate. Is it attractive? And of course, it's the names. How is the food named? And there are experts to name your food in a nicely manner. So food service and emotions in food service is everything about lifestyle and stories. We know that a good brand has to have a good story. So I saw Ben & Jerry's here at your Esplanatan. Starbucks has, of course, a good story. And Nespresso, I mean, how can you pay for a kilo 80 euros instead of 5 euros? I mean, this is ridiculous, but people do that. And Jamie, he revolutioned the UK world. All of a sudden they have good food. So a lot is going on. Not only peas and mashed potatoes. Apple, I don't have to mention that. So it's a lot about stories. And then the Berlin Wall. We have to bring the Berlin Wall back because people who go to Berlin want to see the Berlin Wall. We all turned it down. So it's about stories, making people feel comfortable and know a lot more about you and your country and your town. Packaging, another big thing. They were so boring. I remember in the 70s, 80s, Burger King, they had this white styrofoam packaging. I even couldn't touch it. It was so terrible to touch. That's how packaging can look like. And the newest packaging, the newest cups, they are even with very funny sentences on it, you know? If you drink me, you will have a good mood, something like that. It's really nicely done. My Muesli is a very successful brand in Germany. You custom-made cereals. You can order muesli online, custom-made especially for you. So packaging, and you need a good packaging, of course, if you have a takeaway or to-go business. And then all about emotions. What do people really want in their life? That's the question. What do we offer them for their life? What is our contribution in food service to the people, to the many? It's creating a third place. And that's the Howard Schultz, the Starbucks idea. It's a cozy, light and warm place, a welcoming place. And not only by interior, but also by people, of course. It's aesthetics and design. And all the new restaurants, they really have a very, very, and I saw quite a few really nice ones here in Helsinki, very high amount of good design. And that is a must. And it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with high investment. It's just a matter of tasty, of feeling comfortable and cozy. It's lighting, you know it from your apartment. It's lighting, it's carpet, it's some colors at the wall, and that's it. There's nothing, not a lot. It's zeitgeist. It has to set the pace, and it is this good atmosphere. And you cannot describe what a good atmosphere is. You go into a room and you say, that's it, I feel well, I feel comfortable. So those are third places. Those are all third places, all cozy. They look like your kitchen at home. We have Who of you would know Vapiano? Most of you would know that. Are they in Helsinki already? They are ready. I was not aware. So Vapiano started all this. They worked, the first big chain who worked with a designer, with an Italian designer, Matteo Thun, and he made just a great design for this. You know, you don't have to see the logo, you know you are in a Vapiano. So unique. And there is a new one coming now in Germany, Cucina, it's L'Osteria. You should really watch out for this new brand. It's really nicely made. It's natural material, it's stone walls, it's really good, serving a good pizza and a good pasta. And of course, if you talk about trends, the future food trends are going to be Mediterranean, as usually, and it's going to be Asian. Those two is really the main thing. And the third one is the regional, back to the roots. So this is how the decors look like your living room, like your kitchen, like your dining room, mixed chairs, this long chairs where people sit together. And it was funny when we opened up the first restaurant in Germany with these long tables. Everybody said, oh, in Germany nobody sits to each other. You know, they are so stubborn, they will not join you at the table. But then I said, in Munich, in the beer garden, everybody sits together. So it works, even in Germany it works. So that's a new style. That's a department store in Stuttgart, Bräuninger, very nicely done. They decorate also their accessoires, what they are selling there, you can buy there as well. So it's a combination of food service and retail is coming as well. Well, last not least, the last big trend is, of course, the social medias. You can't live without it, if you like it or you don't like it. We can be, if we want to be, 24 hours online. And the young people, they are connected with their peer group. They can make their own rooms, their own groups together, and they are connected. And you have to know, as food service people, they are opinion leader. Earlier times you said it's mouth-to-mouth advertising. If you are good, I tell it to my friend. And you always said, if you are bad, you tell it to 11 people. So it was very critical if you have a negative complaint. But nowadays, internet is so fast. They are the opinion leader. If they say your restaurant is not up to standard or your service is not up to standards, this is going to be very, very tricky, of course. And we call them the digital nomads. That's the new style. They are in LinkedIn, they look YouTube and Xing and Pinterest and all those interesting new medias. So how is then the implementation in food service? And you can start with open table. Would you know that? Open table? Yeah. You can book your room. That's how it starts. But you can first, of course, go in around me. If I'm an hotel, go in around me, then you see which restaurants are around me, then you can book a table, then you can go there, you make a picture, you share the experience on Facebook or on Twitter, you make a picture for Instagram, whatever. You can share your whole life and your whole food experience. It's a really transparent market. And there are so many pictures on Instagram. You wouldn't believe, I was on Instagram on Starbucks Instagram. There are thousands of pictures for Starbucks, which really fans did for Starbucks. The nice one above, they are from Starbucks. So it's interesting, this world is so getting, I would say crazy, but it's getting so overwhelming that you have to know, what do I take with me and what not? So it's a transparent market. But it's not only one-way market. It's a very interactive communication. Companies can interact with the fans, with the guests, with the customers, with the consumer, and the other way around. But you need to take care of that instrument. Booking, ordering, as I said, evaluating, you can do everything on this media. Well, the second part of my presentation are now the hot, successful food service concepts. Let's go through this journey. And successful concepts always have two basic things. They have to be a brand, and they don't have to be Sorry for taking Starbucks. I should have taken a little unique local restaurant, because if I have one unit or if I have multi-unit, I have to be a brand. And a brand means I have to be different than all the others. I have to differentiate myself. And as I said before, a brand, of course, creates trust, no surprise, the identity. And brands are more or less more specialists instead of being a generalist and offering everything to everybody. That is a big difference. So if you are a small brand with only 3 or 4 units, but it's the point of why should the customer come to you if there are 5 cafes, like on the Esplanade. It's funny, when you go the first time in a new town, what makes your decision to go in that coffee and not in the other one? So next time you think about, why did I go there? What made me going there? Interesting. That's something for researching. So, and the second thing is the system. You need to have a system, and the system does not mean that you need recipes for the products you want to offer. That's part of it. But it secures your quality and your continuity, because you should have no surprises. Your food, your service, the procedures should always be the same. They should not be surprising. And it gives you, of course, speed and efficiency. And last not least, you want to make some profit. Without these systems, you are lost in this chaos world. And it is a chaos world, as we heard from John. So there are 4 really big topics which are, I would say, the future big concepts. And they are all in the quick service area. Earlier time we said fast food. I remember when I started with Burger King, it was fast food. Then everybody said junk food. We didn't like that too much, even if it was like that. And then they said quick service restaurant. That's the new one, right? Fast food, junk food, quick service restaurant. Nowadays, they call it fast casual. It's interesting. I will go through it. So those are the 4 ones for the future. And what does it mean, fast casual? From fast food comes the speed and the productivity. And from the casual dining, which you know from the States, it's an expression, the nice ambience and the new culinary products. So it's both together in this fast casual. And we have some, I mentioned Wagamama. Wagamama started. Have somebody been to Wagamama? It's a really great concept with the nice food and open kitchen and bowls like that, and it's 25 years old. Very, very nicely done. Then I mentioned already Vapiano, front cooking. So this is all fast food. Fast casual can be with service, or it can be also with counter service. So both ways are possible. Carluccio is a very nice UK chain. Very nicely done. And they have the mix between retail and food service. Koa, Asian feel-good food. So if you think it's all feel-good food, it's all feeling well, living well, so that's the direction. Very nice decor. And Jamie's, as I said, revolutioned the UK and the rest of the world as well. And he has his Jamie's 15 in UK, and he has also Jamie's Italian, also in Amsterdam and abroad, and in the States, I think he has several. Very nicely done, very nicely done. And in Germany we have not Jamie Oliver, but we have Tim Melzer, who opened also his restaurant. That's how it looks like. It's an old butchery, very rustikal, very much Heimat. Very good restaurant. Looks like in your kitchen, in a kitchen at home. It's pretty successful. Nando's, would you know Nando's? Chicken company, very big, successful chicken company, 800 outlets. Really doing very well, coming from South Africa. Chipotle. And Chipotle is a long time on the market, but they have redone their style and their ambience, and a very nice ambience now, very up to date, and they are coming to Europe now. Sticks and Sushi, a very nice chain. Also a product which is really going in the future, but it's not. It's more a niche product. It's not for the many. It's more a niche product. Sticks and Sushi comes from Copenhagen, very nicely done, very good decor, good food. That is an interesting one. That is Hiltel, and that's Mr. Hiltel in the green T-shirt there. Hiltel is from Zurich. And this is the oldest vegetarian, talking about vegetarian, the oldest vegetarian restaurant worldwide. It's over 150 years old. And wherever you are in Zurich, you have to go to Hiltel. He has more than one restaurant, but there is the mother house, I would call it, a very big one. And it's really worthwhile to go there. What he does with vegetarian food. Very, very good point. Then we have, coming from Austria, I wanted to make it a little international, My Indigo, fresh, fast, fit. My Indigo, eat and smile. I mean, the sublines are always very interesting, eat and smile. They are very fresh, fresh food, they have Asian food, they have smoothies, so all the assortment we were talking about before. Fun, having fun, and that's our business. We should make our business because people want to have fun, want to go out, want to have fun. So the next big trend, that was the fast casual part, the next big trend is the coffee shops. And that is the new Starbucks. And that was the one, I made the pictures in Amsterdam, that was the flagship stores from Starbucks in Amsterdam. And they have a new philosophy. Earlier time, they created their restaurants, and they have about 20,000 coffee shops. They transported their bolsters, their chairs from the States to all over the world. So, of course, they were criticized, and they had to change that. And they did. This was the first store who was done in Holland, in Amsterdam, with Netherlandish craftsmen, Netherlandish artists, and they even have Delfter tiles there in that restaurant. So even those big chains are all of a sudden buying and acting locally, being a global brand acting locally. And they also put the name Starbucks from their logo, and you still know what you're talking about. So that's how it looks there. Very robust, very wood, very robust, very nicely. Yeah, and I mean, having books there, having a Libra there, I mean, this is really, for a big chain, this is something very special. And then we heard, McDonald's was in 2002, dropping like this, so they had to come up with something new, and it was it was made in Australia. The McCafe idea, it's a genius idea, and they made nicer ambience. They added the McCafe, because it was the answer to Starbucks and to the rest of the coffee shops. So now they have again, in 2013, last year, and I was just on a convention in Hamburg, they have another drop. It's the first time McDonald's has a big drop in Europe. So I wonder, what do they do now? And we know that every 10 years, every 7 to 10 years, you have to do something to get out of that decrease. If you want to make a comparable sales, on the comparable surface, an increase in your restaurants, you have to do something every year and every year. And that's the tough part. So that was McCafe implemented, Costa Coffee, of course. The coffee shops, they are setting the standard for the living rooms. They are setting the standard for all the rest of the other restaurants and bistros. Caffè Nero, you know that, very successful. Dunkin' Donut, this is an interesting one. I don't know how old, I would say 50 years or something, 50 years or even some more. And they were really up to this. All of a sudden they come back again. They have better coffee. They have had this ugly brewed coffee. They have new coffee machines now. They have a new decor now, they have new colors, and they are going like crazy, Dunkin' Donuts, all of a sudden. Interesting. So the next big topic is the coffee shops are good in making good coffee. Right, they have to have cafe con leche or whatever, cappuccino, all these different kinds. And then there is this new revolution, where the retail bakery, it decreases. People are not more buying so much bread and buns. That is the fact. So all of a sudden the bakers had problems, they have to have another idea, and then they started with the food service. Why not? They can bake the bread, they can, so Panera bread, the biggest from the States, they're making French baguettes, very nicely done. In front of the customer, you can see the production there, very nice. And it comes, of course, to Europe. So we have here Paul, a very nice chain from Belgium. Actually, they are from Belgium or France, I'm not sure. Yeah. Very nicely done, little cakes, very nice setup. It's a self-service, but you think you are in a Wiener cafe house, something like that. So Paul, Maison de Qualité, fondée en 1889. Pretty old. And we have Le Pain Quotidien. And I like the name. Le Pain Quotidien means our daily bread. It's such a basic name, isn't it? Our daily bread. It's nice. It's very successful. This is now, whether one is French or Belgium, and look how they are showing the bread like art. It's not more as we are used in the bakery. It looks like art. And they are running. You can have breakfast all over the day. Really nice. Very female touch, of course. This is also Le Pain Quotidien. Wooden, natural material, wooden. And you can buy the marmalade there, the confiture, homemade stuff like that. That's La Maison du Pain. That's a German chain, La Maison du Pain, the house of the bread. It's a little bit a copy of Le Pain Quotidien, but very successful with really nice decor, chandeliers, and very successful. And this is a Dutch one, Vlaams and Broodhuis. I really liked it. Was in Amsterdam. It is a very simple corner bakery. It's in earlier times, food service people would have said to me, "Pillows in my restaurant? Never ever I put pillows in my restaurant. They get dirty the first day." So all of a sudden you go back, you have pillows, you have carpets, you have like home. So this is how the world is changing. Teas, that is a Portuguese one. This is very heavy, of course, very, very south-minded, flowers all over. Then the last part of the successful concepts are the convenience shop. And as I said, we're getting more and more convenient. And the first one who is the expert in that and is really doing a great job is, of course, Pret-à-Manger. And Pret-à-Manger, Pret-à-Porter, means ready to wear, and Pret-à-Manger is ready to eat. I like this name, it's also very funny, Pret-à-Manger. It's a UK chain, and they were the first, 25 years ago already, who talked about sustainability in their products. So really nicely done. They make delivery, they make this squared plastic takeaway products. It's all to take away, sandwich, baguette, wraps, and drinks. And they have thousands in London, it's in every corner. The next one is in the Frankfurt airport. It's Meyer. It's a local guy who was not a brand, who is a brand, who did everything to become a brand. On his logo, on his way, you can recognize his store. And he is the expert in merchandising. How do I present my food? This is excellently done. So we all know that if a shelf is empty, you see the stainless steel, right? So what do you do then if you see, it doesn't look too attractive to see stainless steel. So he is then filling up with apples or filling up with salad. He's filling up with natural product, not with artist's product, but with natural products. Very, very fresh bread, very nicely done, Maya. Fruit salads all over the place, as we can see here as well. Albert Heijn, he is a big food retailer from Holland, very big one, and he was the first one as a retail store, as a food retail store, the first one to start with the to-go. He has everything and anything to go. And if if we make trend tours, we always go to, with those guys who want to do it in Germany as well, we go to Albert Heijn because he made the best bags, the best wrapping, really, really good. Albert Heijn to go, a retailer. So the borders of being a retailer, a food retailer and food service is getting closer. They're getting closer. It's not more retail and food service, it's combined. That's Henry. It's a Dogotan Attila. It's an Austrian guy from Austria. He has a very big catering business, and he started also a to-go business. He has a very high-level catering business, and he started, I Love Henry, best ingredients, premium quality, handmade today. So it's all about handmade craft and that stuff. Very, very good. And he has such a good packaging. I really made one presentation only about packaging from him because he's doing such a great job in packaging. That's Henry as well. So you can, even your schnitzel, your Wiener schnitzel, you can take out whatever you want to do. There are, of course, other food service trends, and I heard that this fair today is called street food. Yeah, I heard it. So this is street food in the future, and it just arrived from the States, and all over Germany, all of a sudden are food trucks. And do you have them here already? Food trucks? Some? Yeah. So they are on marketplaces, of course, they are on sport events, they are selling anything and everything from pomfret to fish sandwiches, of course, and that's how they look like. Very bright, very colorful. You will, of course, they are eye catchers, you will see them. Grill and chillin', Mexican food. Yeah. And there is also this, also in Netherlands, it's interesting, Jumbo food market that just opened in Leerda. And it's this big mixture again. It's like Walmart in the States. It's this big mixture about food retailer and food service. Very, very nicely done. Front cooking, it's a little bit the marketplace concept. You go there, you get meat there, you get fish there, you get vegetables there. Very nicely done. Very, very big. So this mix is coming closer and closer. So one thing is sure, we are getting more and more competitors around us. So this is definitely sure we have to watch and to know what we are doing. It's Italy. Fantastic, fantastic product coming out of Italy. Italy, coming out of Italy, a nice word. They are great. It's also a market hall where you walk around. It's like the earlier Markthallen. You have one here in Helsinki, of course, but it's more to eat there. It's not to buy there, it's to eat there. Very nicely done. Very fresh bread, fresh everything. And this is a nice one, a new one, very new one, and I have never seen that on another place. This is in Berlin. I translated it, the walk-in recipe book. It's actually, the idea is that you have a recipe, and there is for 2 people or for 4 people what you have to buy for that recipe. So let me see if this picture, so maybe this is better to explain. So I want to make a kabeljauw filet with great vegetables and a carbon sauce. I want to do that for 2 people, for 4 people, for 6 people. On this table, you can shop it and put it in your basket and bring it home. So that's a totally new idea. They have already 6 or 7 of that, and they have the fitting wines to that. So it's really a nice new setup. It's everything in the direction getting more convenience for us. We don't want to think anymore, I guess. The walk-in recipe books. Of course, it's funny we talk so much about hamburgers. The hamburgers have a new revival. They have it, but it's premium hamburger. It's this Max, I think they come from Sweden, Max, yeah? And it's a new steak burger. So the whole grilling part, flame broiled grilling, is really coming back again. And it's those type of hamburgers, and the stores, of course, look different than the ones in earlier times. There is an interesting chain also in the US, Shake Shack. And they serve really glass, no more paper cups, so it's really, and that's how a burger can look like, a free standard of a burger. Very highly upgraded shakes. And yeah, also what I found is new is to work and to eat together. So this is Heimathafen. Again, it's in my hometown in Wiesbaden, Heimathafen, and you can work there. They have working spaces. It's everything on sharing. We share our cars, we share our apartment, we share everything. I don't hope everything, but, but here you can share office places. And you can have soup or dinner, and it's really nicely done. It's entrepreneurs, it's students, 3 students who did that, and very successfully. And it looks like in the 50s, the interior looks like in the 50s, Heimathafen. And we talked about fruits and juices, and they will come even more. Freshly pressed juices, and that is fruiters. And this is really great. They're doing such a great job. It's a lot of work, and everybody says, oh, freshly squeezed juice is such a pain. How can I make money on that? They definitely do. They are concentrated just on fresh juice and on fruit salad bowls, and that's it. Very small standards, very small boxes, fruiters. Very nicely done. The guy who does it is coming from the textile industry. And sometimes I think that the ones who are not into that business too long, they have really nice and fresh ideas. So this is very nicely done. Yeah, and of course yogurt is coming. Yogurt was in the 60s, 70s already there, but Yogurt Mountain, a very nice chain from the States, is coming to Europe now. And you do it your own way. Have it your way. What do you want on it, on your topic? Have it your way. And so we are, being at Hagahelia, we have a lot of hotel and food service together. And I was discussing the other night, I don't know a lot of hotels who have a successful restaurant in the hotel. Mostly if you go down to the reception and you ask, where do I go in which restaurant, they send you somewhere else, not to their own restaurant. So I was looking for one very successful, and that is in Berlin, just opened. But it's a chain, they have already more. It's 25 hours. And it's such a great experience to be there. It's blocked, the restaurant is blocked, they have a lounge, they have a club, they have a restaurant, they have a bistro. It's in the Bikini House near the Kurfürstendamm on the main street in Berlin. It's worthwhile to have a look there. Pillows all over. Very nice, very comfortable. You can have conferences there, you meet your people there. So this is one of the successful ones, and I will close up with that. And I have a little résumé. So what I think for you could be success factors for the food service is building and investing in a brand, staying this brand alive, your own background, creating the competitive advantage. I have to be different. Fresh, biologic, sustainable, fair trade and healthy assortment, definitely, that's it. Comprehensive information on the food and on the origin, you cannot live without that anymore. On-the-go options, it doesn't matter which part you are in which food service part you are in. And in my eyes, it comes more and more from generalist to specialist. You can't serve them all, you have to make up your mind. From distribution to service, I haven't talked about that, but that's a great one, because we are so used to have counter service, to go and do everything on our own. In the airport, I have to get my own ticket, I have to get my luggage on that own. And there is a big movement against that. A lot of new restaurants are coming with service again. So full service, waiters again. With this new technique, with the iPad ordering, they can order and the order is in the kitchen. So this comes again. Distribution, I call it, to service. Places to socialize, that's what our customers look for, our consumers. Third, places. And price value, more important than ever. And last not least, I haven't talked about the team, but for me that's the key to success, to have the right people on board, to have the right team, and a smiling team. Kiitos. Thank you.